not spoilery, but this is more Godzilla than Rogue One to me.
Okay, that's pretty spoilery.
So,
because
I'm not giving away the movie, but
it's hard for me personally not to do spoilers, so I'm going to try my best. But like I told you, Howie, I didn't see Rogue One, so I have nothing to base it off of. It seems like your opinion's a little harsher than mine, but again,
it's not harsh. It's not harsh.
Okay, we'll have to do a whole other episode about how Tony hasn't seen fucking Rogue One.
Oh, I haven't. I own it. God. I own it on DVD or Blu-ray, and I still haven't seen it.
When we turn this podcast off, you will not go to bed until that movie is finished playing in your house.
No.
Anyways,
we are back. Welcome to the Movie Dads podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Howie.
I'm Kyle.
That is Kyle. Kyle, episode number 23. The new 2023 sci-fi movie.
Oh, just a lot about you.
Creator.
Oh.
The Creator.
Right,
episode 23. We're a little late. We're a little late with the episode. Work sucks again. If we just had like
to the best of us
10,000 more viewers on YouTube, I wouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Dumbass regular
leaving
job.
Comments, then maybe we wouldn't have to do anything else.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. What were you gonna say? You know a lot about me now.
Oh, I was just gonna say the way that you said when we introduce a movie at the beginning of the episode, it's very telling of where your loyalties lie. And we did not see this movie together, which
we did not.
My brother is like, he told me that his headcanon is that we are always seeing these things together, and most of the time we are. And anytime I've told him that we review a movie that we didn't see together, he's like, don't say that. Like, no, you guys need to see them. Anyways, so I don't really know how his feelings are on this. I pre-blew my wad and told him what I thought about it before he saw it. So I might have like pre-blown the expectations for him.
Well, to be fair, you were pretty vague. It was, open to interpretation. And you said once I saw it, you would understand what the, comment you made. I will say this. We were supposed to see this together. I was working way later than I wanted to, and you rescheduled for a couple days later, and then I didn't get to see it till last night. So it's been a joy. It is what it is. So we're gonna, this episode's gonna come out, half a week late, and then the next episode will be a little bit delayed too, so we can kind of get back on track. But that's that's okay. But it's episode number 23. We are hopefully by the next episode, we will have hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. We're so close. We're in the mid 90s. It's so close, but maybe we're
right at the 3 or 4 more shares by you listeners away from getting to 100. So
yeah, I mean, it's a funny thing because some of our social media videos hit like a couple thousand views, but like.
Yeah, it's wild.
They're not checking out the others, which I get. I wouldn't either. I don't do that either. But
I think I've said this on an episode. I've had like 4 or 5 like people not directly tell me, but indirectly like tell through friends or family. Like I think like my brother's wife's mom said like I just like I was scrolling through my feed and randomly like a podcast popped up and I was like, holy shit, like I know that's Kyle.
Yeah,
I've had like a bunch of people, like I think one of my wife's like she's a dance teacher, like one of her dance kids' parents like mentioned it. Like I was scrolling through and I saw that Kyle's got a podcast now. Like, guys, if you're gonna do that, follow. Hello, give me a like.
Yeah,
come on,
subscribe.
Yeah. Hello.
I understand we are for a very specific demographic, but at the same time, like our top 5 lists are really kind of
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they're fun too. I mean, like a lot of times it's, like when we have a subject like, today is going to be based around science fiction. And even if, you're not a super, maybe you'll find something that's interesting and off of that part. You maybe, I'll watch that movie. I like that actor or whatever. And I've never heard of it. So, they recommend it. But that's, that's the way it rolls. That's the way we roll. But yeah, I
did promise some followers that we would be in the spooky world by October. So, but this was a September 29th episode. That is
September 29th, a
little bit later. So we'll get into spooky.
We've got multiple spooky movies planned for October. So I think the only movie in October that we have slated that's not spooky is Killers of the Flower Moon, because we have to do that movie.
It looks,
we're so pumped for it.
Looks like old creepy white guy spooky though. So
yeah,
it
definitely
might be on par. So
it might work. Anyway. It's just a little different genre. But anyway, if you're watching us on YouTube, please give us that like and subscribe. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Podcast Index, as well as see some of our short videos and clips on our social media pages at Movie Dads Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I know. You're good. But we're Movie Dads. We've got Movie Kids. I got to go back to this one because I talked about it on the last episode because it was about to happen. But we got to take both kids to the Chiefs versus Bears game last Sunday, which was awesome because it was the first time all 4 of us have ever gone to a Chiefs game. Usually it's like, like last year I took Dez and then you and Grayson came with, which was cool. And then I've taken Reagan before, just Reagan. Abby's even taken Reagan before, just the 2 of them.
Yeah.
But it was cool to get all 4 of them on there. My wife Abby and daughter Reagan got to go out at the beginning of the game and carry the giant Arrowhead flag during the national anthem, which was super freaking cool. And it was a really nice day. It was like 80 degrees and it was super sunny. And the Chiefs steamrolled the Bears 41-10 too. It was good. It was like 34-0 at halftime.
Fucking eyes touched my spine. They rolled back so hard. We get it.
The funniest part about it was like the kids wanted something to eat and had to use the bathroom. So like there was 3.5 minutes or 4 minutes left to halftime. And I'm like, let's go now. That way we beat the crowd that comes out at halftime. We're in line at the concession stands and the Chiefs scored 2 more times. Then we got back to our seat with our food. We'd already gone to the bathroom and then got our food. We get back to our seat and we watch them score again. So they scored 3 more times in that last 4 minutes, which was great. But that was also the first appearance of Taylor Swift at a Chiefs game, which has now become such an awful.
Are you kidding me? You just let that seep into our content. It has made its way onto our platform. Barf.
I have to say this as a football fan, not even a Chiefs fan, but as a football fan. I understand what the NFL's trying to do. And obviously it's worked because of the viewers and the social media, blah, blah. It's annoying to the regular football fan.
It's super literally annoying.
I hate it.
Sports Illustrated did an article on this, specifically saying that there is one football game a year that, like, the broadcast is not catered to football fans, and that is the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
That's like it's all catered to, like, all the fluff around the game, all the celebrities, the halftime show, all the bullshit, not football related, which is okay because generally, with the exception of your dumbass fan base, the teams that are in the Super Bowl are not most of the viewers. So like they don't really care about the game. And I think it's like, what is it, like 25 mil per weekend is like an average, and then like when it's the Super Bowl, it's like 100 mil or something. I can't remember the viewership, but
it's close. I think it's usually upper teens. It's around 20. That Chiefs Bears game was like 24 million, and then this last Sunday the Jets game was like 27 or 28, which was the most watched television program since the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we get it, Chiefs fan. But and the Taylor Swift effect.
Swifties.
But more, they were like football fans are just like literally that entire Jets game, and I am so annoyed that I've spent more than 10 seconds talking about this. That entire broadcast, literally, they'd show a play, they'd pan up to Taylor Swift. They'd show a play, they'd pan up to Taylor Swift. Isaiah Pacheco, a running back who's not banging Taylor Swift, scores a touchdown. First thing they pan to, fucking Taylor Swift. Like, it's and Sports Illustrated essentially said, like, the entire football community or people who actually watch games are like livid, just so annoyed because every minute, every second she is talked about or on the screen during the game. But they said, like, it's because so many outside viewers were are now fucking watching these games. Essentially the same viewers that are watching the Super Bowl, that they really leaned into the broadcast to being like for those fans and not for it. And for them, like, they can say it works because they've had more viewers for those games than any other games other than the Super Bowl. So it's whatever. I get it. The NFL, Taylor Swift, the Chiefs, they're all sucking each other's dick. I was telling Stephanie, I don't know why God hates us so much sometimes, but he took the world's two most annoying fan bases, minus the few that have been here for a long time, Howard, and somehow decided to combine them into one. Like we've talked about, my worst football experience was getting to go watch my Jaguars in a playoff game and having like 5 drunk ass sorority white girls literally say during the game how much they wanted to F Travis Kelce. This is last year before Taylor Swift. And that was all they talked about as they drunkenly were grabbing on my chain, grabbing on my jersey, and having their boyfriends scream in my ear. It was literally the worst. And now that these fan bases have combined, I already know those girls are the ones that were freaking fainting at the stadium during the Taylor Swift concert this year. They're the same people. So they are like getting off to what's going on right now. Like, they're two worlds combined, and the rest of the world wants to jump off a bridge, and every female within the vicinity of Omaha, Nebraska is like in heaven right now. Pumpkin Spice, Travis Kelce, and Taylor Swift. That's all that's happening here.
I baited you into that, and you are still talking about it.
Barf! But hey, like the NFL, I will put on my Instagram bio, the Chiefs are 2-0 as Swifties, because if it gets me more views, then fuck it. Let's ride that train. But for the rest of the world and all of football fans alike, fuck off, Taylor Swift. Anyways, let's jump in. Oh, actually, I didn't talk about my. So my family side, or our dad side, we also had kind of a football experience this weekend because the Jaguars were not banging T Swift, but we are in the loop with Disney and Toy Story.
You sure
because
are.
They did a random ass Toy Story emulated game this weekend. And by the grace of God, something went right and the Jags won. So we are not the bane of every football meme ever by losing in fucking Toy Story fashion. But we watched the game. My kids, they didn't get to watch it during the game because they were at grandma's and we were going to a friggin' baby shower. But we sat down and watched it like 2 nights ago, and like they were fucking loving it. They had a blast. They thought it was like the coolest thing ever. So the start of the broadcast was kind of wonky.
It did, yeah. It started off rough.
Yeah, they which I kind of assumed would be a thing, because I'm like, how do you film a live sport and somehow translate that to like perfectly be emulated?
In my head, though, I'm like, they must have done this last weekend and not broadcast it, right? Like they had to have tested it with 2 other teams, and it must have worked really well. Or they had to have tried this before, because I'm like, you can't just go. But the other thing but it sure seemed like they just went. And we're like,
yeah, there was a lot of wonkiness to it. But in terms of like for kids and getting to see like finding a way to get them involved in football, like they were showing like Trevor Lawrence, our starting quarterback, like his favorite like pizza is like barbecue chicken, and like his favorite Toy Story character.
Yeah, it was
like,
a cool concept, and it was neat. I'd like to see him progress with it and try different things.
I also kind of thought like if there's going to be technical difficulties, it's probably because they're also the game was in London, so it's like they're streaming from across the world too. So, anyways, that was fun. As a follow up to Grayson in his spelling world, he got a freaking 100% on his first freaking spelling test.
Nice.
At least his first 100%. So
nice,
freaking awesome. So juiced.
I love it.
But yeah, we're typical full swing of school. We went to we had a field trip last week. I got to be a chaperone at, so that was kind of cool. Did the pumpkin patch.
Oh, nice. So, good deal.
Yeah.
Good.
But anyways, let's jump into the segment that gets me up in the morning, most excited, our 6 to midnight. This segment is where we talk about the things in the nerd world or movie world that we're excited about, something new, something old that maybe we've jumped into, or a new movie trailer or something like that. Usually we talk ahead of time. Every now and then we don't. I didn't say what I was going to talk about. Actually, you did mention what you were going to bring up, which love that. Mine was kind of a follow-up on the just kind of Star Wars and Ahsoka show that came out. Season finale just dropped last night.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible to talk about it without like spoiling it, but like, guys, this is the best Star Wars content we've got since like Rogue One. Like, it's so good. Maybe like equal to like the first season of The Mandalorian, but even more so, it's like there's so much Star Wars like old school fan service that is just awesome. Again, I will say Dave Filoni gets it.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, for like those of you who are like real Star Wars nerds, like I am, most people look at what are now called Star Wars Legends. There were like books that came out that were essentially looked at as the sequels to like Return of the Jedi originally, that then ended up getting taken out of canon. Two stories primarily, like Shadow of the Empire and then Heir to the Empire, which is basically a story about this guy named Grand Admiral Thrawn, who's this big, like, badass military dude. That basically it's like the first time that Star Wars got another cool bad guy as menacing as Darth Sidious and Darth Vader in this book way back in the day. He was brought back, obviously, for Rebels and the Clone Wars. Actually, just Rebels. He was not in Clone Wars. I always get those two mixed together. But anyways, there's a ton from that legend story that they are going to essentially, what seems, build this new movie trilogy out of. And this season of Ahsoka is basically the setup for that. So like if you want to know what's going to happen in the next like badass movie trilogy that Dave Filoni's going to be doing, you got to watch this show. It's so fucking good. It's so good. But yeah, finale came out yesterday. It's fucking dope. There's Jedi in it. There's lightsaber battles. Very samurai vibes.
Nice.
Which in like season 3, when she originally showed up in Mandalorian, I guess, I mean, it's not spoilers. It's been out for years now. Her like single episode was like very specifically made to look like an old school samurai movie. And they have like leaned into this like Ronin samurai, like lone Jedi Gandalf the White kind of vibes. And it's so fucking cool. It's great. It's awesome. Go watch it if you haven't. It's the last time I'm going to tell you. I don't know. Have you watched any of the Star Wars like shows or anything like that?
Yeah. So I'm just not done with Ahsoka. I think I've watched the first 3 episodes.
Dope.
But I watched all the others. Like I watched Boba Fett and I watched all the Mandalorians, Obi-Wan, all.
God. Fucking Boba Fett. That's like she who we do not speak of. Fucking Boba Fett. What a wasted season that was. Anyways, what did you want to talk about?
So I was gonna so a lot of this follows up with last week, but first thing I got to say is the Writers Guild strike is in. Talked about it on here multiple times. So writers are back writing things again, which is good, right? Like talk shows have come back this week, things like that. They've started working on scripts and stuff, but the SAG-AFTRA strike is still going on. So we still don't have people to act out these movies. So that continues.
I thought that we were done.
No, the SAG-AFTRA strike's still going on, but they're back negotiating again. They're trying to come to a resolution now that the writers' strike is over. Hopefully, the SAG-AFTRA strike is soon to follow. So we're holding out. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was I brought this up last episode about Martin Scorsese talking about we talked about Oppenheimer, and we talked about film as art, and like he kept going on and on about superhero movies, and like we haven't heard from him in a long time. Wouldn't you know it? After our last episode, Marty does a freaking interview about Killers of the Flower Moon, and he doubles down again about we got to get away from these superhero movies and their shit, and like he says in this interview we need to focus on real filmmakers like Christopher Nolan's and people like that. Hey Marty, hate to break it to you. Oh my God. Christopher Nolan made maybe the greatest superhero trilogy ever. You dumb piece of shit. Sorry.
I was literally about to lean. I was literally waiting for you to stop so I could lean into my mic and say, Martin Scorsese, respectfully, fuck off.
Yeah.
Because we fucking like these fucking movies.
Marty, I like your movies. The Dark Knight trilogy is fantastic.
Yes, you are making me not want to like your movies.
Don't watch superhero movies. Watch real filmmakers like Christopher Nolan.
Who makes superhero movies?
Who made superhero movies? Don't be an idiot, Marty. Not going to go into more detail on it, but it's just like I thought the timing was
curmudgeon.
Hey, old man yells at cloud, right? Like
yes.
he just. I just thought it was ironic that that came out right after we had talked about it again because he hadn't said anything in a while, but doubled down on it. I just don't get it.
I think he was like calling for like a vote or something. Not a vote. I can't remember what it was, but it was something weird. Like,
well, he wants more
people to
he wants more support around like original filmmakers and things like that. It's totally fine. I totally get it. I don't have a problem with that. We're going to talk about an original film that's today that I think falls into that category because it, it's a genre film, but at the same time, like it's very well done. And we'll talk more about that, in our next segment. But I just had to talk about Marty and
or just be like, I don't know, an adult who knows how to be a professional. I've been teaching kids this for years, not just employees, but like, don't say a bad thing about the other people, the other business. You just talk yourself up and your own stuff up. You don't have to go out of your way to say the competitor is shitty. You don't worry about them. Like,
I don't think what he doesn't realize is the people that want to see those original artistic creative movies are fucking gonna.
Yeah.
If they want to, they're going to. Like, it's not. We talked about this last week. It's not all inclusive. It's not like you can't have one and you have to watch the other.
Yeah.
We're talking about the creator today. We're going to talk about Killers of the Flower Moon in a few weeks. And we're going to do fucking Aquaman probably in December because it is what it is.
Fucking superhero movie top 5 on Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon episode.
Right. Well, that would be
just
insult
to piss him off.
Just to fuck with them. Anyway, that's just that. I wanted to throw that in there, but enough on that. That was a quick 6 to midnight for me, but just a little touch on that. But
nice.
That takes us into our big premiere movie of the week, and this week we have a special guest. So my brother-in-law, I'm an idiot. My brother-in-law, I don't know why I was thinking.
I'm an idiot. You're an idiot.
My John C. Riley, brother-in-law, Tony, is gonna join us for the big premiere movie segment. And then he's also gonna do He's also going to do there could be only 5 when we get to that part too. So but just as it is with any other big premiere movie, we will do spoiler free first. We'll give you a quick kind of run through of the movie. Then we'll do our spoiler warning and then get into the details of the movie after that, and then move on to our next segment. So
bring him on.
All right, text him now.
I don't know. Is it going to squeeze us all?
All right, and welcome Tony.
Big
to the
T.
Movie Dads. Big T.
Big T, the building.
Hello.
Tony Smooth.
Hi.
Oh, what's up, Tony? How art thou?
Oh, I'm good. Just on the movie kick. Watched 2 in the last week or so.
Love that. Love
Okay
that.
movies. I think we're going to talk about one today.
What's the other one that we aren't going to talk about?
I went and saw 10.
Oh, barf. How'd that go?
Like I told Howie, they didn't need to make it, but again, if you like just seeing that stuff, the blood, gore, all that, go for it. It's a
You get your rocks off for those. Yeah. The first one was an outstanding concept and just crushed it. And personally, I thought all the rest after, like, no matter what they did, it would never be the same. So it was like, I think we got this.
But they're cheap. They're easy to make and they're cheap. And they make money.
Really? How?
Yeah.
Just in terms of like,
I don't think
effects don't cost a lot.
They cost like 20 million and they make that back in like the first weekend. But horror movies in general are like that. But we're not talking about horror movies this week.
We're not.
We're talking about
an instant classic.
Kyle's instant classic.
Man, I am so bummed.
Oh no, you're good. The 2023 Gareth Edwards, the creator. Yeah. So, spoiler free start to the movie. We saw a lot in the trailers that, I don't know, gave away details, but still left a lot of mystique. So basic premise of the movie, it looked like is there's a war.
What has Gareth Edwards done before?
So Gareth Edwards' most famous movie is probably Rogue One, a Star Wars story, but he also directed the 2014 Godzilla. And he got his start with the 2010 sci-fi Monsters, if you've ever seen Monsters, which is a cool movie, right? So
when I heard it was the Rogue One guy, I was sold on it before like the movie trailer even finished. I was like, oh, Rogue One guy, I'm in it. But then I was reminded he did Godzilla and was like, ooh, okay. Where could this go?
Not spoilery, but this is more Godzilla than Rogue One to me.
Okay. That's pretty spoilery.
So,
I'm not giving away the movie, but
it's hard for me personally not to do spoilers, so I'm going to try my best. But like I told you, Howie, I didn't see Rogue One, so I have nothing to base it off of. It seems like your opinion is a little harsher than mine, but again,
it's not harsh. It's not harsh.
We'll have to do a whole other episode about how Tony hasn't seen fucking Rogue One.
Oh, I haven't. I own it. God. I own it on DVD or Blu-ray, and I still haven't seen it.
When we turn this podcast off, you will not go to bed until that movie is finished playing in your house.
No.
Anyways, sorry, Howie, I didn't mean to cut you off with the premise. Take us into the movie.
Basic premise of the movie, right? It's in the future. And there's a war between basically the United States humans and most of the rest of the world who supports AI. And so the war is that AI needs to end because AI dropped a nuclear weapon on Los Angeles. So it's basically a very East versus West. It's basically the Vietnam War with AI.
Yeah, I got a lot of
and most of the movie takes place in Asia. And you see in the trailers, so this isn't really giving anything away, John David Washington's the main character. He obviously is a soldier, and he goes and they need to get this super weapon that the AI has created, and it turns out the weapon is a child. And that's kind of where the the movie trailers that's kind of what you get from the basic trailer premise, right? You get that information, and it seems like there's a lot of questions about morality and is AI alive? Is it not? And obviously there's some metaphors in there on some things, and it's kind of how you take it. I wanted to compare it a little bit to District 9 in some of the metaphors when it came to different species and stuff. I mean, that one was aliens and this one's AI, which either one's relevant right now in the world, but that's kind of where it touches on. Overall, I mean, I'll get into the review part when we talk more about spoilers. And there were parts that I thought, as the movie played out, were predictable. I had really high hopes for this. I think when we did our mid-year, this was my number one.
Had this at number one.
It was my most anticipated movie for the second half of the year. Again, I'm not saying that it was a bad movie. I don't think it lived up to the expectations that I thought I had for it, maybe. And what I thought the movie was going to be and how it was. One thing I will say, and I'll see kind of what your guys' thoughts on this are, is it's an amazingly visual movie. Like the visuals are amazing. And the fact that he made this movie for $80 million blows my freaking mind.
Budget. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy how freaking great the CG was and just overall everything. That was
definitely the high point there. As far as the visuals and things like that. And, Howie is absolutely right. Every time we bring up the movie, he was jacked. He was jacked to see this movie. I'm like, all right, man, calm down a little, But it's unfortunate that it was, again, just only okay for some people like myself. But
what was my most, Kyle, what was my most hyped summer movie? You remember what one I was most anticipated that I wanted to see?
Yes, I knew you were going to talk about it. The Flash. And how the Flash was... I was actually just going to bring it up again.
Disappointment.
Just specifically when we're talking about visually, like the amount of money that was spent on the Flash, and like the number one largest critique of that movie is how atrociously lazy the CG is.
Yeah.
Minus Michael Keaton being perfect. The creator, like, that was it was awesome. District 9 you mentioned, I love that movie, and the visuals in that movie like are super realistic. You don't feel like you're just looking at like fake cartoon characters on the screen. Same with this. Like everything that was CG was it was really great. Like how they designed like the AI, the droids. There's like some they're kind of like replicants even from like Blade Runner. They're like half humans, half robots. But then there's some like full on just like Star Wars droids that are like running around that. But the thing I thought was cool about those was they didn't change how like they acted like total humans. Even the ones that looked like just straight robots, like wearing clothes, and they just how they were all kind of intertwined. I was excited for this movie. I wouldn't say that this was like I was like most excited for this than any movie coming out, but thought like the trailer looked awesome. It really got me hooked into it. Knowing it was going to be the dude who made Rogue One was going to be doing it was exciting. John David Washington, I was like, okay, you're going to have him in there. This is going to be awesome. Actor that stole the show was the girl, and this was her first movie she's ever been in.
Yeah.
What I don't remember what her name was, but
Madeline, pull it up. I think Madeline or something.
Pull it up.
She was I mean, as a kid, actor never.
Madeline Una Voiles.
Man, she crushed it. Made like it was awesome.
The acting as a whole, I thought was like I'm a big Ken Watanabe fan. I loved him in this. Like, I mean, nothing's going to top Last Samurai, but
I was just going to say, let's
awesome.
go Last Samurai. He's great.
Yeah, Gemma Chan as Maya was great. I even liked Allison Janney as Colonel Howell.
That was my surprise.
Yeah, she's pretty good too.
I mean, I know she won an Oscar, and the only thing I really am basing that off of, or how I feel about her, is the show Mom, which I watch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, she's goofy, yeah. No, she cuts her hair and she's serious in this movie.
Yeah.
She is relentless.
She has
She's
a movie
kind of
out,
like,
and I can't remember what it's called, but she had a movie come out like last year where it's like Taken, but it's her.
dope.
Yeah.
I would totally watch that, because she does give a vibe that it's kind of like she's a little bit over the top, and you want to see as kind of like maybe a comedic, like she's trying to be a trope almost, but she kind of settles into the like villain role that you also kind of sympathize with, because she early on gives kind of a story of like her son being like brutally murdered from the other side, that the AI side that she's against. So like, and that's really early on, like right at the beginning. So it kind of gets you hooked into like, oh shit, like this is why she's doing that. But then throughout the movie, she just continues to be like a freaking, just a kind of methodical bad guy. I thought she was great at it. So
yeah, the movie's called Lou, and it came out last year, and it's on Netflix. And she's like a loner, lives in a neighborhood, kid gets kidnapped, and she like goes badass and gets, has to get the kid. Anyway.
So it's like Nobody, the girl version. Nobody 2, female style.
Yeah.
Love that.
Something like that. So should we get to spoilers, or?
Yeah, let's just jump into it. I liked the movie before we spoiler it up. I thought it was a good movie.
I'm going to say this, and I know everybody, like, I'm kind of leading on to this, that I was like, I didn't like this movie. I did like this movie. It wasn't what I'd hoped it would be. Like, so this is more about just, I'm a little disappointed than anything.
Yeah.
I would still, like, if you're a sci-fi fan, you like original sci-fi movies, I'd still say go see it. I think it was good enough to definitely go see it in the theater. I want Gareth Edwards to keep making movies like this, because I think he's good at it. Monsters is a really good movie if you've never seen it. We all know how good Rogue One is, except for Tony. Like, highly recommend.
Jesus, Tony.
It looks great. So
it's great, man. But anyway, so that's it. That's spoiler warning. Spoiler warning.
Get the out.
Get out.
Get.
That was your chance.
Also, hello, the score. This was a Hans Zimmer movie. Hans Zimmer just crushing them out of the park.
It was good, because it was very different too. Like, there were scenes where the music would kick in, and it's like, man, it almost doesn't seem like it fits, but it works. Like, it's so original, and it was really well done. Listen, I'm not taking anything away from this movie whatsoever. Again, I almost went into this, like we talked about how excited I was. I almost went into this like
too excited.
I was ready. I'm like, Golden 11, here we go. And then I came out and I was like,
blew your wad.
Maybe a little bit.
Your wad.
I might have a little bit.
The movie was okay. I think we've already hit all the top points that we could have. Acting was good. I texted Howie here my thoughts on it, and it's the trailer for me. It's like there's the comedy movies that all the funniness is in the trailer. You go see it. That's it.
I don't disagree.
This happened with this movie is, basically the whole story. Maybe one small part, and I'm not. Spoilers. The small part that wasn't in the trailer is basically the wife. A story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. My biggest issues with this movie were, I didn't have any problems with the pacing whatsoever, because there was some big action pieces, and then it got really slow for a little bit, and then we'd get a good action piece again. I didn't have any problems with the pacing with that whatsoever. I think my biggest issue with it was the predictability. Like, I felt like it was too obvious to predict what was going on. I pegged Maya as the creator, like, right away. I pegged that Alfie was their unborn child's likeness when they kept talking about like how you could put your likeness on a human. I'm like, it's totally their kid,
Yeah. You were just jumping into everything. See, I was going in fully open-minded about this whole thing.
I know, but like, as the movie progressed, I was like, this is what's going to happen. And they all happened too. And it was like, they're going to steal a ship, and they're going to go up and they're going to blow the thing up, and then John David Washington's going to die, and blah, blah, blah.
It's interesting that you said that the predictability was there. It's so weird, because like when I was watching the movie. And also, I fucking loved this movie. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a ton of fun. And during the whole movie, I just kept having this feeling of like, there is a lot of you could clearly see where a lot of the influences were, and a lot of the things that they did were from different movies and different tropes that have been in there.
Mhm.
But there was also something that just felt super original about it. And I guess in just maybe kind of how they did it, how they did the kind of AI side. It's, usually in these movies where it's like humans versus AI, the AI have taken over, they are a bad guy, and they are the bad guy, but it's very clear that they are not in this movie. And so I just I thought that was a lot of fun. Once I stepped back and a couple of days had gone by, and then I thought okay, Rogue One, this movie was essentially, not to spoiler fucking give it away to you, Tony, but this basically was Rogue One, a different version of Rogue One. Big giant super weapon. There's a war going on. There's a small freedom fighter group trying to stop that. There's a lot there that's very similar.
Mhm.
I said this to Howie when I was trying to explain what I felt the movie was. I said it's like if Christopher Nolan made Blade Runner, was kind of the vibes that I got. It was it had that cool sci-fi kind of cyberpunk kind of vibes, especially when they were in the major cities. I actually think that's one of the things from this movie that was cool, was all the different, completely different locations they went to. One point they're in a neon city, another point they're in rice paddies, another point they're in the Himalayas. They're kind of, another point they're in freaking shitty ass futuristic Los Angeles. That was kind of cool how they were all over the place. I think probably the Christopher Nolan vibes, I think, just came from it being a little bit more serious with Hans Zimmer sprinkled on top of all of that. So that's probably where I get that kind of feeling for. For sure, some things that were predictable, or I guess from other movies that we kind of felt we've seen before. But truly, when I walked away, I was like, fuck, I haven't feel like I've seen a movie that just felt different like this in a long time. Not that this was the world changing, groundbreaking movie, but it was as good as I was hoping it would be for me. Again, I didn't think it was going to be the best movie of the year, but I love sci-fi. I love movies like District 9, Elysium. It was very similar to Elysium and District 9. Especially trying to get up to this space satellite by base. It's literally the same thing as Elysium. But I don't know. I liked the actors, the visuals, like you said, in terms of overall costs of the movie. It was a great movie for not a very expensive and an original IP. So it wasn't
take, it's not going to take much for it to make its budget back, even though it didn't have a great opening weekend here. It's the kind of movie that overseas, I think, is going to have some legs. It's just that kind of movie.
And probably because kind of what Kyle said, I mean, there was a lot of great scenery, and a lot of those places are real over in Asia. I mean, that's where it mostly took place. And I don't travel, but again, I believe those are actual places look like that. Maybe not there's completely neon lights. I know there's cities with neons, but
I thought the part where they were having their little, basically the Americans were taking over that little water town, when they had their own giant tank robots to run across the dock. I don't know why I thought that was the coolest scene ever, where they're hunkered down and they're sending bombs. These giant suicide bombs, and it's all foggy, so you can't see anything. You just hear thump, thump, thump,
I know what you mean. It was tense.
Fuck, run! That's kind of where my head was at. So some of those scenes I thought were fun, kind of cool.
I'm with you.
What do you think, Tony, was what just didn't do it for you?
No, I mean, same thing we've been saying. It's predictability. Just like Howie, as the movie, I'm not saying I went in the movie saying, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. You start picking things up, right? I mean, that's any movie. But partway through, I'm like, that's somehow their kid. They're somehow related. There's no other explanation. Now, as far as the movie called The Creator, I didn't really see a creator, but sure, yeah, it ended up being the wife. I still don't know. I mean, right. I get it, but it really had, like, you could have changed the title to something else of that movie. I don't know what. Like the other thing that I liked or thought about rather is the movie was only set in 2100 or 2200. Wasn't too far.
Oh, it was 2065. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's.
And then it was 2065, and then 5 years later was 2070.
Yeah.
Sure,
which is not that far ahead. It's not that far ahead.
I'll look it up.
You gotta stop messing with your mic, or my.
I know it fell. I hit the cords, and sorry about that.
For me, that I didn't realize that you guys were gonna not enjoy this movie as much as you did. So I feel like we're talking about The Flash right now. But like for me, the only thing that stood out as that I was kind of like, I know John. Okay, so you're right. I know that John David Washington is Dan Zale's son, and everyone thinks they're the greatest actors ever. I get it. And I thought he did a pretty decent job.
He did.
But the thing I don't think he did a good job of conveying, like the main driver for him at the very beginning of the movie, we find out him and this girl, what was her name again? Maya is pregnant with his kid. And then she is at that point in the movie, she's in with the AI. We don't know how much, or she's just a part of the AI freedom fighters kind of group. And it very much seems like John David Washington is a part of that as well. And then you very quickly find out that he is basically a double agent. So like he's trying to get info. Yeah, he's undercover, but he fell in love.
Under her covers.
Yeah, he's inside her covers. So gets this girl pregnant, falls in love, and he clearly does love her. But like
loved her so much that he lied to her.
Yeah. Well,
double agent. You just said it.
Yeah. This is espionage at its finest.
Yeah.
He was really getting into his character and into her. So
getting into her characters.
All right, boys. All right.
Well, but this is where, she, obviously we're in the spoiler world. So she dies in this raid at the very beginning of the movie, and he basically goes off the deep end because he's lost his wife and unborn child.
She's a vegetable, I believe it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, at the beginning, she gets blown up by
she's presumed dead.
Yes, by an atomic warhead. But that is basically what's driving him the entire movie, is like they basically come and dangle a little video that shows that she might still be alive, and he immediately is like, okay, I'm in. Like, what do you need me to do? I'm going to go help because I'm going to find her. I've talked about this multiple times. I am someone who has lost some people close to me. And like, when I think of the emotions that we'd have when there's like the thought of being able to see that person one more time, or at some point he even sees her, an AI version of her on a train, and he kind of gets into this, like, for a brief moment, he kind of sees her and then he realizes it's AI and he just kind of keeps moving. Like, I don't think he did a really good job of kind of conveying the loss and like how much of a big deal that was. And then we go through this whole movie where he's traveling the globe to find her, and then he finally finds her, and she's a vegetable, she's a husk. And literally within 2 seconds of seeing her husk body, he just goes right up, because a human's got to turn off the switch. He just walks right up and turns it off. Like, there was no oh shit, you just found out some major thing. She's not alive. She's dead. But wait, she is alive. But you are now going to have to kill her. Like, they didn't do anything. I think they didn't do a good job of conveying the like emotion, in my opinion. That was where I was like, come on, John David, make me sad.
I think I know what you mean. I really do. And that's exactly why I'm not I'm not a big fan of him just yet. He's not nowhere near his father at all. But like the other movies that he was in, he's not he's decent. Like he's starting to be a decent actor to me, and it's just that he's emotionless. I mean, he doesn't really. I mean, he could say it in words. Oh, I'm after my wife. I want to see her again. We don't feel that. We really don't.
Yeah. I actually do agree with that.
I just want to go back a little bit. As far as, now that we figured it out, is 2070, or whenever. Again, I probably got it wrong.
2070. You're right.
Yeah, all right. What I appreciated and thought about was, the robots. The technology itself is, okay, we're here now in 2023. That could very well happen. Whereas other sci-fi movies, like, no, that can't happen in even in 1,000 years. But the robots, the only thing that maybe like in the 2070 time frame would be like the insert in the back of the head, the whole disk drives or floppy drives, whatever you want to call them nowadays, USB. That one's maybe just a little far fetched, but like the weaponry. Probably even the big ship. I mean, that might be a possible thing. But that's, like I said, that's one of the things. It's like, this could really be. We don't know. Very, very well could be our future. Not necessarily the nukes and all that.
No, I agree. And I did like the way that, Kyle, you talked about this too, the way the AI is, like, you could tell which ones are older models, right?
Yeah.
But how they still all act like people, right? There's even that scene where the tanks show up kind of towards the end, kind of that battle in the where they're holed up, and they're almost like getting high, like the AI is like sitting around the table and I thought that was kind of interesting take. It's interesting, there's people. One of the guys has a relationship with an AI, calls her babe, and he's like, "Did you just call her babe?" And they talk about that
because he was one of because they really lean in the U.S. like they hate AIs, like they hate them. And, and he was one of them
because they blame the AI for blowing up Los Angeles and killing all these people. When it turns out maybe that wasn't the case. Like it gets that part gets kind of like mentioned, but they don't elaborate like that. It was human error that actually blew up Los Angeles. It wasn't actually the AI. Ken Watanabe kind of talks about that. Like we would never do that. We don't have we can't kill humans. We would never kill humans. And then that part kind of gets emphasized too when they go and they find Maya and she's a vegetable and that we can't kill her. AI can't kill humans. A human has to do it, Yeah. They talk about that, but at the same time, these AI are all freaking shooting people. So maybe it's...
Well, I think they were saying they couldn't kill their creator.
Was that what it was? Okay.
But they couldn't kill the creator.
I think, overall, like visually the movie's great. The score's great. I think the acting overall is great. John David Washington maybe is probably the weakest link out of that, but like the little girl and everybody else is phenomenal in it. I might have gone in with too high expectations, and that might be part of why my thoughts on this movie are a little bit lower than I had hoped. And maybe it's this is one of those movies where I need a second viewing, kind of deal. Yeah. Because of that. But overall, like, it's a cool original story. Yes, I felt like parts of it were predictable. The visual effects are phenomenal, and the sound's phenomenal. I mean, overall, I'm gonna go 7.5.
It's higher than I thought you were gonna say. Love that. Love that for you.
Just gonna assume it's a 10-point scale.
You got it. Yeah.
I'm shocked that you don't know that, avid listener, Tony.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. Okay, I was gonna.
What do you rank it?
Yeah, why don't you go first, Kyle? I think you like it better than us, right? I mean, just from what you heard.
I'd say it's very clear that I enjoyed this movie. It's not a golden 11, and it's not a 10, but it's definitely an 8.5 for me. Like, it checks all of the sci-fi nerd stuff that I love. I love me some futuristic cyberpunk. Like, we get very much Blade Runner kind of vibes in a lot of the scenes. I thought that was just an awesome. It checked my nerd boxes. So 8.5. See it in the movie theater. don't wait for it to come out. Go see it in theaters.
Oh yeah, I always say see it in theaters because they get more. They keep getting the money, and they're going to keep making movies, and we all can enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to round. I'm a rounder. I would just say 6. I really would.
Oh, you hated
Again,
on everybody.
we covered everything. The visuals were great when he got up on that ship and he was just on the outside of it crawling. I love that. I don't know why it looked good.
Yeah.
Again, the story, that's over 50%. So
I love that Tony was like, I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy as much as Howie did, but like it wasn't that bad. But 4.
No,
I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.
It's a brown 0.
Yeah.
Well, again, I mean, Howie was absolute. Every time he was brought up, he was jacked. He's like, "Oh, can't wait!"
I
could see him falling harder because of how he was, before the movie came out.
I also understand why you feel the way that you do, like that it wasn't because this isn't. I think like people were posting like some of the reviews are saying like this could steal movie of the year, and walking out of it, I didn't think like, oh, this is going to be Oppenheimer, but I truly felt like this was like the most original kind of just setting and world in general. Like I haven't seen a movie in this setting specifically before. So it just felt really original. But again, like, but I didn't go like, holy shit, I just saw fucking like Interstellar or, like I did when I walked out of like, Inception. So
right. No, you walked out of Tenet.
Yeah, but it was much better than Tenet.
It was.
Like,
it was. I'll say that.
I did not enjoy Tenet at all, and I enjoyed this movie a lot. So, sweet. Okay,
Yeah,
look at that.
I think it's
look
good.
At us.
Yeah,
Our fucking scale is all over the place.
Yeah,
loved it.
Yeah,
fuck off.
I think they're all right though. I think all of them were correct. All opinions were correct. I really do.
I know we're done talking about this movie, but I could see this a second time. I think, and it could be in the 8s. I think that's a possibility. I do feel like there's a little bit of let down because of this, but anyway, that's the 2023 Gareth Edwards Kyle rated classic, The Creator, and that takes us into my favorite segment. There can be only 5.
Only 5.
So Tony's going to stick around and he's going to do There Can Be Only 5 with us. So we stuck with sci-fi this week. We went sci-fi specifically. We tossed around a couple different categories, but we centered on just a couple little different ones. So Kyle, do you want to go first, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, which one did you want me to jump on? Which one?
Whichever one you want, because we kind of discussed them ahead of time.
Okay, because you guys just a la Flash style trashed a good movie. Let's talk about some good sci-fi movies. Okay. My only 5 this week is top 5 sci-fi movies nobody talks about. As in wicked awesome sci-fi movies or movies that we think are really good that don't get enough credit or are not looked at as like some of the best sci-fi ever.
Or maybe people have never seen.
Or they've never seen it and we should watch it. But we originally were going to do like top sci-fi movies the whole time. And we're like, we fucking have talked about those movies in almost every of our lists. Like
then we were going to do like top sci-fi movies that need a sequel. But we did top movies that need a sequel, and like if you go back and watch it, most of them were sci-fi. So
yeah, so some of mine are not necessarily all over the place, but like there's a ton of different things that I would consider sci-fi, and for whatever reason, like when I'm making a list about it, though, I think primarily like spacey. So there's a lot of space movies on mine. Honorable mentions. No, I know I say this every time, but this time I promise I will not talk about them other than just saying their name. My honorable mentions, there were 3. Contact with Jodie Foster. Minority Report, Tom Cruise. Titan AE, I believe not Mark Wahlberg. Who's the guy that was in The Martian?
Matt Damon, isn't it?
Matt Damon. The Martian. Fucking great sci-fi movie too. Not on my list though, of this one specifically though. What's your problem, Tony? What are you gonna say?
You're right. It is a problem. I was just wondering, can we argue against these or what? Because
we don't argue. We just like.
Have you ever fucking watched this podcast?
No,
ever?
He hasn't. No,
Jesus
he hasn't.
Christ, Tony. Why do you get to be the first guest? You've never even seen the show.
You guys wanted superiority, and I'm here for that as far as movies go. But
we don't really argue with them. We more just say like, yeah, that's not on my list.
Okay. Yeah. Honorable mentions. You had. There's just one that I'm like, what?
Contact.
No, Minority Report. People talked about that. It's an older movie. It was great, and people did talk about it. It was, I'd say, I hate the word revolutionary, but it really was. It was a good movie, and I think
I agree.
People are talking about it now because they don't like Tom Cruise.
Well, that's my point, Tony. If I were to say, give me your top 5 sci-fi movies of all time, you would not have Minority Report on that top 5 list. I know it. You know it. I know it. So
see, like, but
that's
a lot
the whole
of times.
point.
Well, a lot of times when we do these, like we do them by interpretation. So when we do top 5 sci-fi movies nobody talks about, you're probably never heard of some of my sci-fi movies because they're literally things nobody talks about.
That's what I expect.
Mine are honestly, Tony, if you would have listened to any of our 22 other episodes,
well, I'm getting it.
You would know that my list typically are, I call them my top 5, but really these are 5 chances for me to talk about movies that I want to talk about for people. Like 5 things that
get to it already.
God, fuck off, Howie. Jesus. Okay. My number 5, I've talked about this on an episode, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but Tron Legacy. I fucking love that movie. It's fucking awesome. The score's incredible. It was a great setting. It was the best Tron movie ever made. Give us that fucking sequel. Number 4, Event Horizon. We're in spooky season.
That's a good one.
Event Horizon was fucking awesome. And I think a lot of people will talk about that movie as like a top 5 kind of like scary movie, or they'll throw it in that kind of Aliens vibe. But Event Horizon is a quintessential like 90s. There's a deep spaceship that went missing 7 years ago, and a crew gets sent out to basically find out what happened, save the ship, save the crew. And once they get there, it's very much like Alien. There goes my eardrums. It's very much like the Alien movie in that they're in this creepy spaceship and it's massive and terribly horrible, scary things ensue. And it's a great movie. Dude from Jurassic Park is in it. Also, Lawrence Fishburne is in it.
Sam Neill, the dude.
Yeah, Sam Neill. Fucking, I don't know why I can't think of. I couldn't think.
It's just a generic name. That's probably why. Honestly, I have a tough time with it.
Well, I was gonna call him by his name from Jurassic Park, but then I couldn't remember that one either.
Grant.
Dr. Grant.
Alan Grant.
Dr. Grant. Alan Grant from the first Jurassic Park. My number 3, I think, Howie, you and I have talked about this movie at some point, or maybe in passing, but I wanted to give this list because I want to talk about it first because it might be on your list. My top 5 sci-fi movie that nobody talks about, Moon. The movie Moon is fucking awesome. It's
Duncan Jones movie. Sam Rockwell, right?
Sam Rockwell is the main character. It's hard to really dive into like the synopsis of that without giving away spoilers, but like Moon is a phenomenal movie. And though it's kind of like a cult, not necessarily a cult classic, but just kind of like not a lot of people know about it. It's like almost a perfect movie. So, it's up there with some of my like top 5 movies to suggest to people because I know they haven't seen it and I know they're gonna like it. So, guy number 2, Sam Rockwell, he is in that movie and he crushes it in multiple roles. Okay, number 2, and you fucking ruined it because you already talked about this earlier, Howie, you jerk. I was gonna pull this out like an ace up my sleeve. District 9. District 9.
Something that nobody talks about though. The movie was like nominated for Best Picture.
But nobody talks about it now. When it came out, yes. But like, when was the last time you talked about District 9? Probably way back whenever
when we were talking about the creator.
I mean, obviously, we were talking about movies very particular to that. But we have not talked about that movie ever since I've known you. That is one of my favorite sci-fi movies.
It's a good movie.
It is one of my favorite movies that I think deserves a sequel or should have had a sequel.
Ooh, I don't know.
A sequel. I get what you're saying, like with maybe like the character development, like how
I feel like
it
would take away from the story, but I know.
Yeah, I guess
I think it's one of those movies that like if they told another separate story in that world,
yes, in that
would
world.
be good.
Yep.
Maybe not a direct sequel because like I feel like that story was done.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that. I feel that. I love that movie. That's a Peter Jackson movie, right?
No, that's Neil Blomkamp.
Oh fuck! I'm an idiot. Why did I think Peter Jackson had anything to do with that movie?
Did he produce it? Maybe.
I thought he had something to do with it.
He
what were you going to say, Tony?
Oh yeah, no. Again, it's more trash talk.
Go for it. Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah. And kind of a joke. Would you give the creator a second, or rather a sequel, and they'd call it The Destroyer?
Peter Jackson was the head producer of
There you go.
District 9,
there you go. Oh, okay. We're just ignoring people here. Okay.
Sorry, that's what we do. We had to do the Joe Rogan thing where he's like, "Hey, pull up that one YouTube video."
Oh, is that Howie?
Actually, to be the creator, 100% that world could easily tell 100 different cool stories.
Yeah, you could tell a story with Alfie grown up.
Yeah, there's so much. Again, like even if it wasn't directly related to any of those main characters, like there's a ton of cool stuff they could do with that.
But you could change the entire story and just make Alfie destroy the world. Yeah, the Destroyer.
You could actually do that. That's a good point.
I am Alfie, destroyer of worlds.
I was just being facetious, by the way. You know?
We know.
Because I wanted to say.
We understand what you were doing, Tony. You Mick dickhead. And remember, I am going to have to listen to your list too. So I guess game on. My number one movie, I talk about this movie a lot. Ad Astra. This sci-fi movie. I will come through the screen and punch you, Tony. This movie was phenomenal. It was so good. Now, the reason why I like this movie is because one, sci-fi was really great. It did a good job of kind of like combining realistic kind of space and NASA vibes while also leaning into like the Mass Effect kind of vibes. Basically, like a moon base. There's raiders on the moon. But I love this movie, Tony, because it does an incredible job of diving into like what happens to us when we lose someone important, someone who raised us, a father. How far would you go? Would you go to the end of the universe to find them? If there was one smidgen of a little bit of hope that he might still be alive. And they really do a good job of diving into Brad Pitt's like character psyche of like how he treats other people, how his whole entire world is defined by this, but he doesn't tell people. And he does go to the end of the universe to find his dad, and he does find his dad. and like it's all about closure and grief and how you handle it. And I don't think a lot of people know that that's what that movie was about or really picked up on it. I think most people just watch that movie as like a straight space movie and they're like, meh, this was okay. But like for me, having that story and that side paired with like fucking awesome sci-fi and an incredible score, it was like fucking love it. I also had Waterworld tied for one, but I don't think people would count that as a sci-fi. Waterworld is a great
sci-fi-ish. Yeah, it's sci-fi.
Okay, give me a sequel. I love Waterworld. It is tied for number one. Boom, okay. That's my list. Who's up next?
Tony, you want to go?
So I'm sorry. Are we doing two lists?
Well, you do your
what
top
was your
five?
problem with Ad Astra, by the way? What's your issue?
We'll get to it.
Oh, okay. Is it on your list then?
So do your top 5 sci-fi movies nobody talks about.
Okay. I will say, what you just described as far as Ad Astra, I don't get that deep in the thought process. To be honest, and exactly like you said, just looking at it as a outer space movie, excuse me, with a talented actor and two of them. And then I know that gal is too. Anyway,
yeah, that means that the movie went. That means the movie went like this for you.
No,
right over your head.
And I'm sorry to go back again, but that's what John David Washington character was after, was closure too, and that's why he killed her. So let her go.
Good point.
Top five nobody talks about. I don't have any honorables, but I do for the other one. So top five. Okay, let me just say this as well, and I hate to say it. First off, I didn't fully understand both the categories, like how I was supposed to do it.
And I know we give you a category, and then you interpret it however you want. The way Kyle interpreted it is totally different than how I did, because I did movies that nobody talk about. He's doing movies. He's doing movies nobody's talked about in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
What?
No, I agree.
Up. Nobody's talked about any of these movies as like top movies.
I'll watch Minority Report right now, and you better believe it is in the conversation. It was on the list, but exactly what Howie just said. He said it's about they're not talking about it. We all talked about it, loved it.
I mean, I don't think
open to interpretation,
but I think a lot.
Do you want to go back to the whiteboard, or
it's open interpretation?
These are wide open. Go.
I can tell us your list.
Right. Sorry. We'll say that again, mine are somewhat recent, hastily done because I just found out about it, and I surprised myself because a lot of them didn't hit theaters. So nobody talks about it. Just came out. Hulu original. My only streaming service is Hulu. I don't know why, but I have been watching these movies when I'm doing nothing. Even when I don't want to play video games, and that's all I do. Even when I don't want to do that, I just somehow turn it on and watch these movies. Most recent one, number 5. No one talks about. This one's called No One Will Save You. It's a Hulu original, so they made it and all that, and they just posted it.
Oh my God, I've never heard of that.
Last episode.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have remembered that. I should have. I should have remembered that.
Christ, Tony.
I watched it. I loved it.
Yeah, I do.
And you did watch it, Howie?
Yeah,
we don't talk about the originals.
I watched it too. We all just talked about this movie.
What'd you think, Kyle?
I talked about it as 6 to Midnight. It was like something I was excited for. Howie sent me the trailer. I was like, this trailer looks like Strangers Meet Signs. And then the entire trailer was the entire first 5 minutes of the movie. And it was way different than I thought it was going to be.
It was good.
It was good for what it was. Again, I keep saying it. It's a Hulu original. I don't like original things like that. And they're up and coming. Like they're starting to. You can see it. They're coming out with a lot of new stuff, trying to be the Netflix. Again, it's not talked about. We're talking about it now. I liked it, and I was going to say it's in contention for the least amount of talking in a movie, which was fine by me. And
she says one line that entire movie.
Yeah, and it's
I guess I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in terms of like, I didn't know shit about that movie until
right.
Jesus, sorry, my tablet's crazy. I didn't know anything about that movie until Howie had sent it to me. And then I watched it 3 days later. Like I had no build up to it other than that trailer, and then watched it. In terms of that little bit of a world, it was great. It was a good movie.
It was.
Yeah.
Keep going. What's your 4?
No, I had something else and I completely forgot. Oh, right. Just a side note. A lot of movies, I don't go in with expectations. I know what it is about. I know what the story is. Of course, I want every movie to be great. But I try not to go. So again, a Hulu original, I'm like, all right, these are supposed to suck, but I'm gonna watch it, open mind. I loved it. It was Caitlin Dever, or whatever. I know she's in a few other things, but I like her. I watched the Hulu original with Caitlin Dever of is it Juliet's Romeo and Juliet one where she's the cousin or whatever of Juliet. Watch that one too.
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, they took that one off.
I don't think I've deep dove into Hulu originals.
I'm all over it.
Other than Prey.
Again, I surprised myself because there's more. Fourth one, I call it sci-fi. Is a Hulu original, not the original concept, of course, but the Hellraiser. The one one they did for the Hulu original. I put that on there. I liked it. You know, I got to be honest. I haven't seen probably. I don't know how many I've seen. Very few of the originals, and that's for a lot of scary movies. I didn't see the originals, but knowing Howie for a while, I have. I mean, you know, go see this, go see that. I've been sitting here watching them. Again, different ones.
Yeah.
But this one, I enjoyed it. I did.
Cool.
Nobody's talking about it.
Hellraiser. Hulu original Hellraiser.
Yeah. Yep. So again, I don't know how accurate or close to the original source material it was or whatever, but number 3, also another Hulu original. And this is science fiction. It's called Palm Springs. Love it. It's just any Groundhog's Day type movie. Love it. Over and over and over.
Okay. You gotta give me like an elevator pitch of like the premise, so I know what it is.
Andy Samberg. You don't know it till about halfway through. J.K. Simmons is in it. Love him. Who doesn't love that guy?
Yeah.
And then a new gal who's not in much, but she was really good.
I want pictures of Spider-Man.
I want Spider-Man on my wall. Sorry.
J.K. Simmons. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Jesus.
I got you.
It's literally the only movies he's been in.
Your voice
No, it's not.
Drumstick. I didn't see that. I know he's in that one. And there's Oscars thrown at that movie. Andy Samberg, funny, the gal. It's basically a wedding that they both attend. This gal and Andy Samberg. Again, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. And then it's how they got to how Andy got to a time loop is. I mean, it's kind of whatever, but that's the science part of it, actually. And then
I was going to say, is it just sci-fi because we're like the time travel
time loop?
No.
So would we consider
Groundhog's
Day a sci-fi movie?
Why not? I mean, it can.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, was it? I don't know. I mean, let's
let's do it.
Whatever you want to interpret them.
Yeah, fucking interpret how you want. What's your number 1?
Oh, but the movie ends on science as well. So yeah, I'm counting number 2.
Oh, number 2. There we go.
Is Invisible Man that did hit theaters.
The one with Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah,
a more recent one, right?
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Yeah,
it is. Nobody talked about it, and I think, like you said, it was a cheap movie to make.
I did not see it. Yeah,
you don't
even have to pay the head actor.
That's a good movie. Oh yeah,
because they're not there.
Because he's John Cena the whole time. Oh God!
It's that wrestling business. All right, so I think a lot of people can agree on that one, and it was good.
I can't agree because I haven't seen it, but I will now go see it based on Howie's reaction to it.
Well, it's DVD or streaming or whatever.
Yeah, you can stream it. It's a good movie.
Tony, I love your list. Love
number 1. Nobody's talking about it. It was a great movie. We're gonna go back to Hulu. Prey.
Oh
Loved
shit!
it.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Well, yeah, Prey's a great movie.
Fucking awesome.
See, I feel like people talk about Prey though because it was so good.
Oh, I don't talk to anybody, so I don't actually hear it. So
they just greenlit a sequel to it, right? Or they're already working.
Talked about it. It needs to happen. Yeah.
Just to clarify,
I'm almost positive they just confirmed it.
Movie's called Prey, but it's Predator.
Yeah,
and it's set back in original
1800s or something. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Famed land of the original folks.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Love that.
That's it.
I love that movie too.
All right, so mine are
Howard.
Mine are obscure, very
Let's
obscure.
go.
All right, so top 5 sci-fi movies that nobody talks about. Honorable mention: I have the third part of the Cornetto trilogy, The World's End.
What is that? What's the Cornetto trilogy?
The
first Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. World's End's the third part of the Cornetto trilogy.
Oh, is that who the director or writer is?
No, it's the brand of ice cream that they eat in all 3 movies. Edgar Wright.
Oh my
Edgar
God.
Wright wrote and directed. It's called the Cornetto trilogy.
I believe you.
Love
Google it.
I think you know your 2 co-people right now. I mean, I don't.
But it's the third part. It's the one nobody ever talks about because everybody talks about Shaun of the Dead or they talk about Hot Fuzz. They never talk about The World's End, and it's a sci-fi.
Is that the
movie.
one where they're in the bar drinking and
they
stuff?
go around. They're going around all the other pubs.
Yeah, like a pub
and then
crawl.
They realize that like everybody's like a robot alien, and the town's been taken over. Yeah, that's my honorable mention. At number 5, I have the 1984 Tom Selleck starring film Runaway, which came out at the same time as Terminator, and nobody saw Runaway. Runaway is basically like, it's a futuristic movie. Tom Selleck's a cop, and there's robots going around killing everybody. And it's an awesome sci-fi action movie, and the bad guy is played by Gene Simmons.
Oh, no love it.
The lead singer of Kiss.
Is he in his Kiss garb
No, he's
the whole
just
time?
a bad guy.
Oh.
It's a dope movie. It's cool.
Fuck yeah.
Runaway with Tom Selleck, 1984. All right, at number 4, I have, well, are we going to get to the 1999 science fiction neo-noir film, The 13th Floor.
Oh,
seen
fucking
that?
solid movie.
13th Floor
what
is
a
dope
badass
Describe
movie.
it a little bit.
So the 13th Floor, there's really nobody famous in it. Craig Bierko is the main character. He was like one of those guys that like almost got famous, but never really did.
Mm-hmm.
Gretchen Moll's the girl in it. It's about basically like virtual reality that like takes him back to like 1937 LA. And there's some crimes, there's like investigations and stuff. And then there's like what's real and what's not. It's a pretty cool movie though. It's got a lot of really neat set pieces and it's a cool story. But 13th Floor, if you've never seen it, it's worth a watch. At number 3, I have the 1994 science fiction film The Puppet Masters with Donald Sutherland, if anybody's ever seen that. So that is based on I think it's a short story, but it's basically about, it's like Body Snatchers. Basically, it's like these aliens latch on to people and like take over their minds, kind of deal. And it was actually, the screenplay was written by Ted Elliott, Terry Rossio, and David Goyer, who David Goyer wrote and directed Blade. And he also, I think, wrote Batman Begins. And so this was a 90s movie. It's actually really good. But it's a cool movie, and it's aliens take over kind of deal, and they got to figure out how to stop them. So it's kind of a cool movie.
You were probably shocked that I've seen that movie when I said,
I mean, like, I don't know. I think everybody should have seen these movies. That's how I feel about it. At number 2, I have the 1995 science fiction horror film Screamers.
Oh my God.
Have you seen Screamers?
Yes, I
Screamers.
have. I saw it on a couple lists too. That were
Screamers is based on a Philip K. Dick short story called Second Variety. And it takes place on another planet where there's these like robot alien things that live under the ground, and they're called Screamers. And the main actor is RoboCop himself, Peter Weller. And it's a awesome action movie. It's super violent, but it's also something nobody's ever seen.
That was that pre?
No, it was
RoboCop?
after RoboCop. It was after RoboCop.
Oh, fascinating.
95.
Really riding that RoboCop train.
Yeah. And then at number 1, I have the 1998 Dark City. At number 1.
Oh, nice. I saw that on some lists too.
If you've never seen, and again, this is a David Goyer movie again. And it was directed by Alex Proyas. And he did, God, what else did he do? He did a bunch of stuff. Like he did The Crow. He did iRobot. But Dark City, it's
solid sci-fi movie.
It's kind of Matrixy, as in like they're in a like simulation kind of world. Man, it's a really odd. Basically, a guy wakes up and he's in like this dark city, and there's a lot of really weird characters and stuff, and it's like a computer simulation, and there's stuff to it. It's an awesome sci-fi film. If you've never seen it, highly recommend. I think it would be a cool one to do as an episode sometime.
I know of it and have seen the trailer, but I've never actually like watched.
Yeah, Dark City's definitely worth seeing. Like, it's an underrated sci-fi film. So that was my list.
If I ever grace you with my presence again on this thing, let's just do 2000 movies and up, made in 2000.
No, because nobody's talking about these movies from the 90s.
Yeah, sometimes we talk about old movies. Sometimes we talk about new ones.
Yeah.
It just depends. So, and sometimes we talk about nothing but Hulu original movies.
Yeah, man.
So
that's funny though that you guys were talking about it last week. It is good.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just so funny. All right, number 5 movie that no one's talked about except you guys for 2 straight episodes.
Yeah, and it was
no one will save you.
Yeah, Chris, District 9 just got talked about earlier this episode.
Fuck off, guy.
Not your guy.
Let's jump into it.
All right, so my category was top 5 sci-fi disappointments, and that's what I called it. So disappointments, box office flop, or just shitty movie that really should have been good. All right, top 5 sci-fi disappointments. Now,
we're gonna have 2 or 3.
I have one dishonorable mention because there's time travel in this movie. I consider it partly science fiction. The Flash.
Oh my God!
Fuck The Flash.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Disappointment. All right,
I agree.
Now we got rid of Kyle. So, all
right, I'm back.
Number 5. You mentioned this movie earlier. Elysium. I have it number 5 because I was disappointed in what I saw compared to what I thought I was going to see, and it wasn't quite the movie. So you
did the exact same thing that you did with The Creator.
Yes, that's possible.
Noted.
Yeah, it wasn't the movie that I thought it was going to be. There wasn't near as much action as I thought it was. They really marketed that movie as a sci-fi action movie, and there wasn't a lot of action. It was not. It was more about classes and things like that. And I don't like it when they market movies as what I feel like is a totally different genre than what it actually comes out to be. So I was disappointed in that.
Yeah, it was very District 9, but like District 9 had just done it, so it was kind of like,
yeah, very much so. Yeah, it was kind of like along those lines. And number 4, you also mentioned this movie earlier. And number 4, I had Contact. Contact. When that movie came out, when that movie came out in the 90s, I was super Jones to go see it because I liked sci-fi and I thought it looked cool as hell. And my mom took me and a bunch of my friends to go see it for my birthday because it was a big summer tentpole movie, and it's a fucking snooze fest.
Boring.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was, and all my friends like, "We're never talking to you again, you piece of shit." Like you took us to the Jodie Foster snooze fest. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and I've only seen it once since, and it still puts me to sleep. Contact.
Oh, it is boring.
Snooze fucking fest.
But it's a classic, and I respect it.
It's a classic if you're taking melatonin. And number 3, I have the Shane Black written and directed The Predator, which was the one that came out most recently before Prey. Didn't care for the movie. I was super excited because Shane Black is like an awesome writer. Yeah. He's a great writer. He's in the first Predator. He's one of the soldiers, and he writes really good movies. He's done some great directing. He did Iron Man 3, which I really think was underrated. I know a lot of people crap on that movie, but I was super excited for him to do The Predator, and then I was like, that turned out awful. It might be my least favorite Predator movie. And there's some bad ones. And that's
the one with like the superior hunter predator.
And the cast is phenomenal. Like, I mean, Sterling K. Brown's in it, Olivia Munn's in it, Boyd Holbrook's in it. Like, it's good cast, and then it's shit. I didn't like it.
It just sucked. Yeah.
So we're gonna stay in that world a little bit. At number 2, I have Alien versus Predator Requiem. The when they came out with the first Alien versus Predator, and they marketed it as like aliens are going to fight predators and they're just going to kill each other and there's some humans in the mix. Okay, I'll see that movie. And that's exactly what the first one was. And it's in Antarctica, and then it's like underground in a pyramid, and they just fucking kill each other. And it's exactly what I wanted it to be. Listen, the original Alien versus Predator is not a great movie, but it's a fun movie, and I will watch it anytime it's on because it's fun as shit. Then they made this thing
cool. It's a concept.
Super cool. And then they made this piece of shit, and it's dumb. And it's not good. And then the Pred Alien, I'm like,
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I have a feeling our number one is going to be the same.
I don't think so. Oh, get out of here.
And you number one, Alien versus Predator Requiem?
Oh, sorry. No, I thought we were talking about the other one.
Oh, no. Alien versus Predator is good.
No, we fucking love.
Oh, no, Alien I meant versus the Predator. I like that one.
You like that one?
Yeah. Olivia Munn can't act, but I'd marry her still. But.
I also thought the same about Predators. I thought that was going to be great with freaking
cool concept to get, and I like that one better. It's not good, but it's better than this. With Adrian Brody. Yeah. Topher Grace is get out of here with Topher Grace.
He just fucking ruins anything that he's in.
Quit casting him in movies and as characters he can't portray, please.
Topher Grace, go live on that island Luke Skywalker was in the
best
fucking
Venom I've ever seen.
Movies.
Oh my
god! Get the fuck off of this goddamn feed right now!
All right,
God, so number one.
Number one. This isn't a bad movie, but. Like, I grew up playing these video games, so this really was something that I was super excited to see. Visually, this movie is stunning. It's shit. The story is shit, and it has nothing to do with the video game. Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Thank you.
I
didn't put it on my list, but yes.
As a fan of Final Fantasy that's played most of those games, I don't play the multiplayer ones. No. It's like you can't just name a character Sid and then call it a Final Fantasy movie. Like that's basically how I felt this was.
Had nothing to do with anything.
No, the
Final
effects
Fantasy.
are great. It looks amazing. It's so cool visually, especially for when it came out. It's dog shit.
Yeah, it's a fucking horrible
dog shit.
I've never owned or played PlayStation, so
I'm not a big Final Fantasy game player. Actually, I never played them, but I know most of like general concepts of them. And I also remember when this movie came out, it was a big deal because it was like kind of regarded as like one of the best like CG movies ever made.
It looks great, especially for when it came out.
But it's like
dog shit.
It's like really pretty dog shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Love that. Your list was not what I was expecting. And I can't wait to destroy these movies that you did not destroy. So
that's fair. Tony, you want to go next?
Big T, what you got?
Kyle.
Tony, you're the meat in this sandwich.
Story of your life.
No,
Skin.
Gross.
I got a lot on this one, and again, as far as first off, number one is like the most crappiest one, right? I put flops and crap, and I did handwrite things. All right, I'll just say them all. All right, I got like 6. All right, sorry. Tenet.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in that movie. I don't know what happened.
It was almost on my list. It was close.
I think we all love Nolan. I have no idea what happened.
When we did Oppenheimer, when we did the Oppenheimer episode, we like it was by far his worst movie. Like we kind of ranked his movies, and we all like they were kind of all over the place. Like one of us liked. I think I liked Inception better. You liked Interstellar better, but we all agreed by far Tenet's dog shit compared to the rest. Like it's the worst. It's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could probably watch. I watched that movie one time. I could probably watch it 2 times and still not know what happened in that movie. I have no idea.
That's fair.
I'm sorry. I know I sound dumb right now, but
no, the movie's dumb.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
It's just because it's going downhill for him. I like him. Obviously, the first one was a banger.
I don't disagree with that on your list. That's fair.
Man, you guys both didn't like Nope.
No.
Weird and different.
I didn't. It's not that I disliked Nope. But it wasn't
what you thought it was what it was portrayed to be.
Yeah, like it wasn't crap. Again, I have flops and crap as far as on my thing. I know you worded it differently, but it's not crap. Mm-hmm. Okay, but it flopped in my mind.
I think we all were kind of hoping that Nope was going to be like the new Signs, and it wasn't.
Sure.
So
right, yeah,
okay. I guess I can see it.
I didn't, and I have to say all 6 of these because they were out of order, but I think this one's pretty appropriate. I have Ad Astra. garbage movie. Just a
Get the
garbage
fuck
movie.
out of here. You added
And
that in the midway through this fucking...
I
Get the
swear.
fuck out of here.
I swear I didn't. I was moving it, and I'm like, where is this thing going to go?
You're going to go right off of this podcast. That's where you're going to go.
Listen,
You fucking son of a bitch. We are clipping you out of this thing right at Howie's Edge.
You know, Brad Pitt is good. He's Brad Pitt. Tommy Lee Jones. If I can recall correctly, Tommy Lee Jones got left. He stayed behind and he died. That's the. Oh, sorry, spoilers.
I mean,
right.
it's an old enough movie. 5 years. So.
And I understand closure. I get it. Like I said, the creator is that too in a way. No, I mean it's just like putting all 3 of the Lord of the Rings together. You're gonna walk somewhere, drop something, and walk on back. Okay, boring. Thank you.
I get it. I can see where you're coming from.
Like
I just don't think you understood the concept of the movie. But
and I'll fully admit I didn't think that hard about these things. And when it comes to, like, again, the creator, as we talked about, when it comes to East versus West and, classes and all that, I don't want to hear it. I want to go to a movie and I want to enjoy it. I understand symbolism. I do. I just want to relax and watch a movie.
Give me explosions. Oh, wait. The creator did that. A lot of them. We got a lot of nuclear bombs going off. Guys.
Michael, bay me up. Whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Explosions, guys. Explosions.
All right.
What you got next?
Keep going. Yep. I crossed this one out. Don't have to really talk about it. I still don't understand it. Annihilation.
I agree. I thought that movie was...
But 2 and 1, I definitely put that they should be. Number 2, I put Morbius.
Fair.
Science fiction.
Shitty movie.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
It's Morbid time.
What's your face? Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. That's the big, number 1, everyone crapped on it. I mean, we crapped on it when we left. Moonfall.
Oh. Fuck, I forgot that movie existed.
Yeah, that's how bad it is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Never saw it.
Oh, it's bad. It's a bad movie.
We're talking 007, right?
No. That one that came out like last year, the Roland Emmerich like disaster movie where the moon's like crashing towards the earth.
Oh my god!
Oh
yeah, you guys saw that movie?
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh my god!
It's a Roland Emmerich movie. I had to. Yeah, it was Patrick Wilson. I had to see that movie. Like he did Independence Day, The Day After Tomorrow. I like all those.
2012.
Movies. I like those movies.
I was going to say it looked like 2012 meets San Andreas meets.
Yes,
fucking...
but I like those movies. Like I like
this movie was none of those.
No, wasn't it?
This is not even believable. I mean, some of those, might be believable, but this
is bad.
It wasn't like Armageddon or anything like that.
It's a bad movie. It's not good.
Possibly believable.
Those have redeeming qualities. Like there's the characters are likable or something, or there's funny parts. This was just bad.
All right, we'll never see it then. Yeah. All right, I love your list except for one. You can get the fuck out of here. But I love that you very much can see that we all have very different views and we see movies with a very different lens. Mine is much better than yours too, but it's great.
Mine's childish. I'll admit
Howie's is a lot older than ours, but
it's true.
Okay, I didn't have any dishonorable mentions, though there are a lot out there.
You can add the Flash if you want to. I'll let you.
I will not add the Flash.
Okay.
My number 5, Battleship. Did anybody see Battleship with the dude from
Kitcher?
Well, yeah, I don't remember what his name is. The dude from Friday Night Lights.
I kind of liked Battleship.
Oh, get out of here! It sucked.
With Riri?
What is that guy's name? Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Taylor Kitsch?
Yes.
Gambit.
He sucked as Gambit.
Oh, he was in The Covenant.
He fucking was so good in Friday Night Lights, the TV show, and then they thought he was going to be the best actor ever, and he ruined 12 new IPs.
Speaking of him, I don't know if this is on your list or not, but did you see
Don't
John
say
Carter?
it. Don't say it.
Oh,
don't say it.
That's perfect as well.
Moron.
Perfect for this list.
Well,
that thing is horrible.
I guess I will move my number 2 up to my number 4 and switch some around. My number 4, John Carter.
I like John Carter. I thought it was a good movie. I like John Carter. I like
both of them were fucking horrible.
I like John Carter.
They were pitched as movies.
John Carter's way better
John
than
Carter
Battleship.
is way better than Battleship, but I was more disappointed with it because I wanted John Carter to actually, when they were coming out with John Carter, I was looking at like this from a standpoint of like these movies were supposed to be really good and then they ended up not being good. Like I wanted John Carter to be this new franchise. Like they were pitching it as this cool new huge franchise that was going to have all these movies, and it fucking blew so bad that they were like, bro, go to the other studio and make a fucking boat battleship movie. Get the fuck out of here.
I feel bad for him. His agent didn't do him any favors.
Yeah, they fucking screwed him.
Yeah, they screwed
It's just like Taylor Lautner. They just want him to take his shirt off, right? I mean, he's a
true.
muscly guy.
But at the same time, like, I mean, think about it, though. He's Gambit in the worst X-Men movie, which is one of the worst superhero movies ever. Then he does John Carter, which it didn't turn out the way it should have. I like it, but whatever. It's not good. And then he made Battleship, which I'm fully okay with people saying Battleship's dog shit because I just kind of liked it. I thought it was cheesy, but I kind of liked it.
It was cheesy as
hell, but whatever.
I liked John Carter more than I liked Battleship, but I was way more disappointed with it.
So it was aliens, right? I mean,
yeah, it was fucking alien. It was just weird. It was weird. Okay, let's jump into my number 3 since I've switched these around. My number 3, Battlefield Earth. This movie fucking
Travolta
blew. It was horrible, but I liked it because I like John Travolta. But if you've ever gone back and watched that movie,
yeah, it's fucking terrible.
It's horrible.
But I expected this to be a bad movie. That's the only reason it's not on my list, is because I expected it to be dog shit, and it was.
It was. I think a lot of lists out there will have that as like the worst movie ever, or a definitely worst sci-fi movie.
Yeah, for sci-fi, yeah. Fair.
There was, I think, a really huge budget, and it was a fucking terrible movie.
Yeah, I think its notoriety is that it's one of the biggest worst box office ever.
Yes.
Wasn't it written by the guy that like created Scientology too?
I can't remember. I don't know the answer to that.
But I know that
L. Ron Hubbard.
They were expecting it to be a big thing because of John Travolta, and it went from him being like this badass actor to being like, what the fuck?
Based on the novel written by L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology.
Fascinating.
The movie
now it all makes sense.
It didn't have a huge budget, but it didn't make much money. So
that movie should be it's so bad it's good. Like, you should watch it because it will make you laugh how horrible it is.
That's fair. And you know what? And the cast is great. I mean, like, say what you want about John Travolta. I've never thought he's a really good actor, but like, Forrest Whitaker's in it. Like Barry Pepper.
There's
if you don't know who Barry Pepper is, Barry
it.
Pepper's fucking awesome in a lot of the movies he's in. He's in it. Like, it shouldn't suck that bad, but it does.
It was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And then my number 2, which I had only seen this movie once, but I think it was fucking terrible. I don't really care about, I've never read the books, but I know these were supposed to be a big franchise. Jupiter Ascending. What a fucking lame ass sci-fi franchise that didn't get off the ground like they thought it was going to. What's his name? Heartthrob, Mr.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum was supposed to like carry this thing through. I think a lot of people out there, like 15 to 20-year-old girls who read the books, like loved the movie. But I hated it just as bad as I hate when Tony blew my fucking eardrums with his microphone.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
For the 3rd time.
For the 14th time. I like that movie fucking was so bad that they cut all their losses and were like, we're canceling every sequel that we were planning on making. Okay, my number 1. This movie was not good. I don't care what you say. Maybe going back and watching it without. I was expecting something much better and much different, and it was not what I thought it was going to be. And because of that, I have this as my number 1, like, biggest fucking, what the hell was that shitty sci-fi movie of all time? Prometheus. I fucking hated Prometheus. I thought it was going to be awesome. Like, I was expecting this massive space epic, and it was a super boring aliens movie without aliens. I didn't like Prometheus. I thought it was fucking boring, and it was not good.
I thought it was a good movie.
Oh, boring.
There's a huge following of people who don't like that movie.
That's true. Because you can't bill something as an Alien prequel and then not have an alien show up until the last 10 minutes.
Dude, like and also just kind of how they were. If I remember correctly, when the trailers were coming out, it very much felt like this was this massive, like sci-fi, like this is going to change sci-fi forever, and it was just like.
I would go as far to say
boring.
that Alien Covenant is worse.
And I think
they called that a fucking alien movie. And it's just a sequel to Prometheus.
Well, and I think Alien Covenant was them trying to like fix what Prometheus did wrong, how they fucked up, and they were like, all right, let's try it again, but let's lean in and do it correctly with Alien in it, and we'll call it that. And it was Prometheus 2, Boring 2, Boring 1 and Boring 2. I thought they sucked.
I'm not saying that's not fair. I'm just saying I like Prometheus, but I also like John Carter of Mars. So
yeah, that's fucking true.
You said Battlefield Earth was a big loss. John Carter was $200 million, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they lost.
Yeah, they lost a fucking shit ton of money. Disney they've burned him from the records.
Yeah, it's.
I don't even think you can find it on Disney Plus.
But that's like. Somebody at the studio you got to blame for that kind of thing, because like how are you putting a guy that's barely been in a couple movies as the lead in a $200 million movie? You can't do that, especially basing it on something that's as obscure as John Carter of Mars.
That's
a bad move from the beginning.
I think they thought that he was going to take off, just like they thought the other Friday Night Lights guy from the movie Friday Night Lights in Tron was going to take off.
Garrett Hedlund.
And both of them just didn't. It just didn't. He just couldn't catch on. I think they really were thinking that his like cult following heartthrob from the TV show was going to like blossom into something that it just didn't.
Yeah,
I actually really like the actor. I think he's awesome, but like for whatever reason, the movies he's in just like
didn't work out.
Stink. Yeah,
just didn't work out. It's bad decisions get made, and unfortunately, somebody's career pays for it. You know.
Yeah, and who would have thought the other guy on season? Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Like season 9 of Friday Night Lights TV show was the one that ended up taking off with Michael B. Jordan. Nobody even really knows he was in that show. But he was the main.
I think I stopped watching after like season 4.
Yeah. He switches high schools to this tiny little shitty like 8-man football school, and Michael B. Jordan is the main player, and he's great. Anyways, okay, great list. Love that. We are 400 hours over our normal time.
Yeah, we're actually not doing that bad, but that was all over. Those lists were all over the freaking place. Like there was not much repetition, which is pretty rare for us, but yeah, it was good. It was good. Tony, thanks for coming on. You know,
I'm getting Tony Ad Astra for Christmas. The DVD.
After hopefully.
Listen, it sounded like that movie hit you too. Okay, so I don't want to sit here and keep making fun of it.
No, you wreck it, Ralph. That's the whole point of the pod.
Late entry, Doom. I forgot to write that down. That movie's redo.
Doom?
Mm-hmm.
Howie liked that movie.
I did like that movie.
He did.
It's me and Kyle versus Howie.
I did like that movie. I mean, like it needed to be more violent and stuff, but the potential was there.
I think just The Rock being in it takes you out of it.
Carl Urban sells it for me.
No,
I'm saying The Rock being in it takes you out of it. Yeah, like he's what made it like not good. Not that he was bad, but it's you put The Rock in something and like it takes away the believability, or it really takes away from like
the believability of Doom.
I'm just like. He's The Rock. He plays the same person in every movie ever.
I'm surprised, Kyle. I'm not going to lie. Most disappointing sci-fi movies. Nobody mentioned Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker.
Too easy. Too easy.
Those were, we already
Those are layups.
We already knew that those are golden 11 worst fucking movies.
Those are brown zeros.
Yeah, the fucking Last Jedi is the worst atrocity to happen to cinema and Star Wars ever. Fuck you, Rian Johnson.
Oh,
welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming,
Tony.
guys.
Thanks for coming on. That was fun. I had a good time. That was good.
Me too. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. So that's the end of episode 23. The Kyle classic, The Creator. Gareth Edwards, The Creator. Episode 23. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Podcast Index. You can check out some of our short videos on social media at Movie Dads Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We'll be back actually next week with another new big premiere movie. We're going to do The Exorcist Believer.
Yeah, I can't wait.
As
I'm
we
also
kick
really
off
glad.
Spooky season.
Spooky. I'm really glad that you just explained to Tony all of the places that he can go find this podcast since he's never fucking listened to it.
Yeah, that was for me.
Yeah,
You
specifically.
fool.
I'm just going to start sending them links.
God.
All right,
All right,
everybody,
folks.
thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. See you later.
Bye.